In this video, I'm going to break down Bam Adebayo's historic 83-point game against the Washington Wizards. Now, this is going to be different than any other highlight reel you've seen because I'm going to be breaking this down as a professional athlete and somebody who's competed against Bam Adebayo. If you keep watching highlights without understanding the why behind why the best players in the world do what they do, you as a player are going to remain stuck and aren't going to be able to level up in your own game. My name is Trey Mourning. I'm a former professional basketball player, both here in the States and overseas, and I run a company now called Coach Comma. At Coach Comma, we work with the families of elite youth basketball players here in the United States, and we help you cut through the noise of AAU politics and high-level varsity basketball politics and really develop a confident, clear, and concise game with a very high basketball IQ. Let's get into the breakdown. So I grew up in the Heat organization. I played with the Miami Heat in the G League, and I know some of their sets. So we'll go over some of the things, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the things that I see are familiar. Now, this is just a standard rip screen, and they're trying to get a post up for Bam. I think Sarr was a rookie at the time. I think last year was his rookie year. And the Washington Wizards are a young team. They're relatively a young team. It's so funny. I was going to go to this game this night, but I decided against it, and I stayed home here, and it was wild to see. But Cass sets a rip screen on Sarr to get Bam a post up, and Bam catches it in the mid post. I think he could have potentially stopped even closer to the basket and get a different post up, but he really likes his his face up game. He gets to the middle, shoots his turnaround, step back, and it's a bucket. Super simple. One thing I want to point out is you all, as players, you need to be patient. Like, look how everybody is super patient. They get a rip screen. Bam catches the ball right here. Now he goes to work. Bam's eyes go up right here to see the spacing on the court first. Right, Bam's right here. His eyes go up to see the spacing on the court, see where everybody else is at. Look at Pella, look at Cass, look at Myron, and this is D. Mitch. Everybody is spaced behind the three-point line, and they're waiting for Bam to go to work. This is extremely important. Now, would I like for Myron to potentially be here in the corner? Yes. Would I like for there to be better spacing? I don't necessarily want Pella to be down here because he will bring his man closer to Bam. But at the same time, I do want them shifted over a little bit more to give some better spacing on the court just in case there's an opening. Pella does a good job cutting off to the other side. Bam gets a bucket right here. I remember I was playing pickup one time, and Michael Beasley threw me the ball in the post, and I went too early, and he told me afterwards, like, dude, like, you got to take your time. You got to be, more patient in that. And that is something that I learned and I've taken with me going forward. Here's Davion. He sends Cass through, swings to Bam in the corner. Just catch and shoot, right? Quick catch and shoot. Bam's trying to get busy. I don't know what Bam felt. I didn't see an interview of Bam after this. I did see some interview, but I didn't really see it, see what he said in terms of how he was feeling initially. Like, okay, let's go for it. But quick pull, knocks the shot down. Another one. Look how Bam holds the space, right? He already knocked down a three, but he's in attack mode right here. Goes to the basket, attacks the closeout, gets a bucket. I think that was potentially a foul too. But look how he pushes. This is called a push, right? So anytime a guard or somebody is driving right here, the person who's in the slot, and Bam's secondly in the slot right here, is going to push over and shift this way. That's why we call it a push. Now, if D. Mitch were to drive this way, Bam would pull behind the ball. So this is a pull and this is a push. And these are different shots that you could work on just when you and your dad are out in the driveway, or if you're a dad and you're with your son and you're doing something along the lines of this. Pulls and pushes. Just drift this way. As soon as you drive here, push that way. If you drive this way, he pulls behind the ball and he gets a pass there. But Bam does a good job attacking the closeout. I think you got to think about, I don't necessarily want to break all this down because I don't think it's necessary, but I will in this case. Bam, he already knocked down a three. I think he could have potentially shot that one, but he's not a three-point shooter per se. So D. Mitch swings the ball right here. Bam drives and attacks the closeout and comes this way. It's very helpful to go away from where the ball was instead of driving back towards the ball because D. Mitch is right here. Bam would have to go this way. D. Mitch would be there. D. Mitch would probably circle around this way because he's a smart basketball player, but it's better to go away from where the ball was instead of continue to bring the ball back to the same side where it came from once it was swung after the drive. There's actually this drill that we used to do when I was on the Skyforce, which is a Miami Heat G League team. It was essentially like a 5-on-0 drill where we couldn't double drive, right? So swing, drive. You can't drive because it's going to mess up the spacing on the court. So this is pretty much an example of it. I mean, great. They do double drive here, but Bam makes a good move, and I think he did foul, but the ref didn't call it. Quick 7-bet there. We'll skip through the free throws. I think just in general, in terms of free throws, like make sure you're doing your whole entire routine. You get 10 seconds on the free throw line, so there's no need to rush. Don't think about it too much. It's not that deep. Just shoot the shot. All right. Bam holds space right here. I see this a whole lot. Sometimes a player will want to cut inside right now. I know I've said before in past videos, I did a breakdown of AJ DeBonsa the other day of how AJ was looking at the back of, I said anytime you see the back of somebody's head, that's your general rule of thumb to cut to the basket. But I think for Bam, like if you cut to the basket right here, there's really not a passing angle. You really want to hold the space in the corner in this situation. It's very situational, the cut that I'm talking about. When I would cut, to be quite honest with you, is if I were Myron. I would cut if I was Myron because D. Mitch is driving right here. This is called a slot cut. LeBron does this all the time. There's videos of LeBron. Kyrie drives, LeBron comes down the lane and punches, or D-Wade drives here. LeBron comes down the lane and punches, right? So this is what I want you all to think about as players. If there is a drive from the opposite side and I'm in the slot and I can see the back of my guy's head, I'm cutting this way. You could maybe pull behind the ball. I don't know. No, you cut. In this situation, I'd say cut. That's pretty much the only option. Either cut or hold space, which he does. He comes to the middle, but I just don't think that's the right play. D. Mitch makes a good pass and finds Bam in the corner. But I think if you're Myron, you come this way. There is potentially an opening here, but I don't see him getting the ball. Fuck it. Bam was feeling it. All right, so in practices with the Miami Heat, in the G League, and then also with the Summer League team, what we would do is when we're running up the court, coaches would actually tape lines here. So they would tape another line outside. The other pro teams do this as well. They tape a line right by the 3-point line. So like outside here, which essentially you do a drill where as a player, if you're running, you have to run outside that line before you come back in. And it just enforces proper spacing. So the guard has opportunity to work, and spacing is a whole lot better in professional basketball than it is in amateur basketball. Whether you're talking about high school, whether you're talking about college, even pro spacing is a different level of spacing. So this is an example of Bam running wide right here to be able to, find an opening. On his head too. Bam's very strong. Bam's not necessarily the quickest player in the world, but he's also not slow. He's not slow, and he's extremely strong. Bam and I think he's a little bit taller than me. I'm like 6'9". Bam's like 6'10". Pin down action in the corner. Bam pops back, stays in space. Bucket. They had already called a sub, or excuse me, they already subbed the SAR out to get Bam, or excuse me, to have somebody else guarding Bam because Bam was torching him already. Bucket. Pin down in the corner. Bam pop back, ISO. This is really just a misdirection to get Bam ISO because Bam's already cooking. You got to think like, I don't know if this is ATO. ATO stands for after timeout. It's a play that a coach calls after a timeout. To be able to get a quick hitter for a player. In the situation like this, Cass comes around. I think Cass is potentially open on this curl, but Jaime doesn't throw it because the play is for Bam, right? That's what Spo wanted to get. So Bam pops back and he just goes one-on-one against him. Quick drive. He's stronger than him and just gets a bucket. 0 doesn't move his feet, and Bam scores. A quick one right here. Yeah, he doesn't even move his feet. It was a bad reach, too. It was a super lazy defense. Super lazy. That's very poor coaching by the Wizards, in my opinion. That was a stupid play. Again, I'll skip to the free throws. Now, in a situation like this, like you're just looking for a player. If you're playing with a guy like Bam and you know he's hot, you just keep going to Bam and you get out of his way. Look at Simone go to the opposite block. Bam's coming down at jacking. Drew, shout out Drew Smith. Drew goes all the way to the ball side corner and just holds the space. Pella's on the opposite way. This is proper spacing in the NBA. This is how it should look. Then you got, I think it's Jaime trailing. This is how it should look, right? Like take a mental picture of this and take notes on this. I had a player DM me the other day. He's like, man, like I took notes on what you said as soon as you said it, because I knew that when it was another breakdown that he saw. I took notes on what you said as soon as you said it, because you know it was powerful and it was impactful and all this stuff. Like that's great. Like take mental pictures and take notes, maybe even draw the court so you can see the proper spacing in a scenario like this. And if you are a point guard, what I want you to do as a point guard is I want you to communicate to the rest of your team before the action even starts as to where they're supposed to go. That means you get the ball, and usually in high school, there's not going to be a shot clock. You're coming down the court, you're dribbling, and you get everybody in the correct space before you get into the play. Because if you're all on top of one another and you're running 1,000,000 miles per hour, you're gonna F things up. You are. All right, so let's go back to this. Bam is feeling it. I don't know how much Bam has by this point. He's celebrating too. I think Bam has, how many does Bam have by this point? Bam has at least 20 something. Yeah. Bam's a strong dude, man. Bam's a strong dude. Shout out Bam Adebayo. Yeah, he's cooking. Look at DH on the bench. Everybody's is gassing it up because Bam is cooking. Big block by Bam. Let's see this. They're in a drop coverage. I love the way Bam is playing this drop coverage. I think it's awesome. This is textbook about how you were supposed to play a drop coverage. The reason being is Bam's right foot is high. I don't like it when a big is playing in a drop coverage and their left foot is high. And let me explain in this situation. If the point guard is coming off with his left hand, which he is in this scenario, it is important that the big has their right foot up. Why? Because you want to stab with this foot and encourage them to come back this way. That gives your guard time, and you also corral them to the side where you can still see the big as they roll. But if you have your left foot high, that big gets behind you. Now the lob is open, and you have to pick between whether I'm going to stop the ball or get back to the lob. And it's a lot of work having to open up your body this way and step back and contest at the rim when the lob is thrown. You might as well have your foot up and be able to see both, and then just push off your right to be able to meet the big at the rim. Now, Bam does get crossed over here, but by this time, there's a peel. Drew's probably calling, I don't know if Drew or Bam's probably calling peel. What a peel is in this scenario is a last minute switch, right? So there makes no sense. It makes no sense for Drew to follow the guard here. Drew should just peel and go back to the big, and Bam can guard 1 through 5 anyways. Like we see how Drew stops there and he's not going all the way. He just lets Bam do his thing and Drew can get back and recover there. I don't think it was officially called a peel. I think it was just a drop coverage, and he tried to get by him. He hesitated, and Bam met him at the rim. I think for a guard in this scenario, you got to go into Bam's body because Bam's out of position right now. Bam has great recovery, but I would go into Bam's body right now and draw a foul, get close to him. He doesn't do that. And anytime you go away from the body of a shot blocker, you kind of give them the ability to catch back up into the play. But if a player like Bam is in a drop and you could see he's off balance, you attack his body when he is off balance so that you can get him out of position and draw a foul. But then it gets back into the play and makes a great block. Get up on the rim, Pella. No, you got one. Just get a lay. More free throws for Bam. All right, so this is the same action that we saw at the beginning of the quarter. So it's very common, very, very, very common. Is this the same exact play? Oh, I'm sorry. It was the same. This is the beginning of the game. I don't know how we got back to the beginning of the game. Let me. All right, now we're good. We're at the end of the quarter. More free throws for Bam. All right, let's see this one right here. This is called a delay action. Not necessarily a delay. I guess this is still a delay. A delay action is anytime the center catches it in at the top of the key after the break. So this would be a delay. Usually in a delay, you'd see Bam in the middle. You see a player here, you see a player here, and a player here, and a player here. So essentially 5 out wide, and Bam's just choosing what he wants to do. He can snap, chase, set a screen, and get into an action, roll on the rim. And then players are playing, and there's just proper movement around the basketball court. But in a situation like this, I think, Casp is cutting across to even out the spacing. See how he cuts through to make the spacing even. But Bam just starts going to work. Bam's like, all right, cool. I'm already cooking, so let me just go at him. Gets to his spot, layup around the rim, bucket. Bam just uses his size and bullies these guys. Shot fake, come here. Another one tagging a closeout. This isn't a delay, but it's a pick and pop. Usually, if you're a guard, I wouldn't say usually. Sar had 20 points in the first half as well. He was cooking. So he ain't no slouch. He was cooking too. Bam just had 83. But if you are a guard and you're playing with a player like Bam in a situation like this, from what I see right now and the way that I would play this if I were playing guard in this position, is I would start getting Bam in these actions where Sar has to close out to him. So they would have to switch the coverage eventually. So right now they're in a drop. This is why Sar is so far back. So let's look at it again. They're in a drop coverage, but Sar has this foot high instead of the right foot high, right? I don't like that. I think he should have his right foot high instead of his left foot high. And he closes out on Bam. He has to run out. Closeouts are really hard, and closeouts are not easy. So you have to close out. And Bam's already cooking. He's stronger than him, gets him on the move, and gets a bucket. I think in a situation like this, what I was saying about guard play is if you know they're in a drop, I want to keep running screens with Bam and have him pop and just let him go to work on Sar because he's already scored this way a couple times. He scored on a delay the last time. And I want Bam catching the ball in the same position and just going to work and getting a bucket. Same foot stop between spin. I see you, Bam. That's tough with the left. That's tough. He's strong, man. Being strong helps so much. Keep lifting weights. Like, eat weights. Y'all should eat weights for breakfast. Like, lift and lift and lift and lift. I'm telling you, the more you lift, the easier it's going to get. The easier it's going to become to be more effective on the basketball court. I promise you. Just lift weights and get stronger. So Bam's playing a lot at the top of the key. I mean, he just got buckets from there just now. He's playing a lot from the top of the key, making people come into closeouts. He's finishing tough around the rim. That was an and one. Look at the touch on the glass. Yeah. He just attacked the closeout. Situation like this, you just attack the closeout and you go. I don't know where the foul was. Where was the foul? That was a foul, I guess. That was a light foul. But they called it. When I was younger, I used to be a ball boy for the Heat. So the guy who walked over in a black shirt to mop it up, I used to do that. I remember I was like 7th and 8th grade. I used to do that. It was my dad's last season for the Heat and his last season playing professionally. And I was a ball boy. I loved it. One of my favorite pictures is of me and him. I got to find that. It's of me and him. And I was the ball boy for the team. Yeah. Here, look at the and we're on the court right before a game. I think he has it. It's one of my favorite pictures. I want it. I want that picture. I get that picture tattooed. I would. Um, so this is what I was saying before. And I kind of called it. I think Spo's running these actions. I don't even think Spo's running these actions. I think Cass is kind of just picking up on it and like, okay, let me put Bam in a position to be able to succeed, right? So it's a lot of these actions here, screens, Bam pops back, and he attacks the closeout and just dunks. Sar's a little slow-footed. Let's see his foot positioning on this. Yeah, Sar's not helping himself. His right foot needs to be high here, in my opinion, stabbing there so he can be ready to get back. Two hands for safety. Bam's in the corner, holds the space. Knock down. Bucket, cash out. So this is another drill that you all can do as well. Drive here and just take steps from this. We call this the break or the nipple as pros. Just run down from here and catch and shoot. Shoot your shot there. You have the pushes, the pulls. You have these as well. You have trailing down the middle. Those threes. You can find yourself in a bunch of different positions. Just depends on what position you play on the court. This is stuff I'm working with my players on because like the players who are in our program, not everybody plays the same position and not everybody's going to do the same thing that everybody else does, right? So everybody needs a custom approach to improvement, the shots that they should work on, all those different things. It matters. It's important. MS 49, get you a 50 ball, Bam. Let's see this defense. Looks like a really good contest. In a situation like this, just run the court. If I'm Bam, just run the court. You just find him. He leaked out. This is why on these, number one should be getting back right away. There's no reason. Number one, there's no way in the world he's going to be able to there's no way in the world that he's going to be able to get this rebound with all the people. He literally has 9 bodies in front of him that are preventing him from getting the rebound, right? So somebody needs to get back. The shooter is never the one who gets back because it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of silly to ask a shooter to get back because you're asking them to shoot their shot, be comfortable there, and then also get back at the same time. It's like, I'm not asking a shooter to get back if I'm a coach. So he stays. If I see this guy's at least getting back, and if this guy knows he's not going to get the rebound, I would dip too closest to the half court line. But they don't get it. Bam gets the easy one. The coach is pissed. It's stuff that has to be talked about before, in my opinion. Like this is like guys have to. Not everybody in basketball cares. Like even players in the NBA, some players just don't care. Some players just out there hooping. Right? They're talented, they're gifted, but they just don't care. It's not always about like getting a bucket. It's about like do your job, you know. It's a lot of free throws, Bam. 60 for Bam. Good for you. Another one right here. Hey. Yeah, so this is a pin in action. I really like this action by Spo. I think it's dope. I think Bam's been heating up the corners all night long. What I mean by that, he's been shooting the piss out of the ball from the corner specifically. So if you see, I think the Warriors would run this sometimes. I mean, you could run this for a shooter. Anytime a player is coming, not anytime, but if a player is coming down right here, is Anthony Gill from Virginia. If a player is coming down right here, right, you have the corner guy then come down and pin them down. And sometimes the corner guy is going to screen his own man. He doesn't do it that time. He screens Bam's man. But it just depends on if they're switching, all these different things. You got to talk through it. right? I think Gill, he kind of got lost there. He could have said, give me a gap, lock and trail. You never really want to fight the screener because, like, what's Gill going to do here? Is he going to push through this guy and close out? Like, no, you might as well just lock and trail, go around the screen, and put a hand up and live with the result. But you get Bam an open three here. And this is why it's important, like, have the right footwork when you're locking and trailing these screens. So essentially, if the screen is right here and I'm going this way, I want to step with my outside foot first and then this foot, right? I'm pushing off like that. If the screen's here, this way, I want to push with this foot first over here, right? If I step here, I'm going to get, hit, or he could potentially tack my top foot and I'm going to be off balance and I'm going to give up a bucket there. So late rotation, it looks like here, or a player was undisciplined and tried to go for a steal. You don't want to go for a steal, just play solid. Just not, if you go for a steal, I had coaches telling me this, like, if you go for a steal, you have to get the steal. If you don't get the steal, you're going to screw your teammates over. And that's what he did. Number 0, he screwed his teammates over. Just be disciplined, be solid. Don't go for the steal in the first place. Yeah, lift weights too. Bam lifting weights and being as strong as he is made this so much easier. This 83 points so much easier, I promise you. Granted, you have to be in amazing shape to score 83 points. It's amazing. Like Bam, franchise record 70 right now. But it's so important to be in the best shape of your life to play basketball. This is something I did understand, but I didn't understand it the way I do now. Like, I'm telling you, if you're bigger and stronger than everybody else and you could dribble a basketball, and you could shoot a little bit, chances are you're going to play somewhere, right? Whether it be professionally or at least in college, man. Like, it makes a world of difference. I wish I would have lifted weights sooner, to be quite honest with you. The skills are super important. Yeah, you could develop skills on the back end. Lift your weights. There's a reason why, and I use this example all the time. There's a reason why and if you are a young man, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a reason why there are football players who get more playing time than some of the basketball players who are very skilled. Like guys who literally just came off the football field and then they just hop on the basketball court and coach puts them in the game and they end the game with like 10 rebounds and like 6 points. They miss a bunch of layups and they get the rebounds back. It's because they're stronger than everybody else. That's literally it. They're stronger than everybody else. And if you are stronger than everybody else and you're able to dribble the ball and you're able to shoot, I would work from the inside out, to be quite honest with you. Yes, it's important to shoot in today's game. It's important to shoot, in the NBA. Every position has to shoot. What I will say, if you are bigger and stronger than everybody and you are comfortable in your own body in terms of your physicality and you know how to dribble the ball after that, you'll get playing time. Now, if you know how to dribble the ball and you also know how to finish layups consistently, just those 3 things, be strong, dribble the ball well, and be able to finish consistently around the rim, all different layups, and you don't miss layups with both hands, you're going to get so much playing time, and chances are you're probably going to get some offers. I promise you that. Chances are you're going to get some offers. From there, if you can then shoot the ball, then go. You're not coming out the game, right? And I usually I believe that if you're stronger than most people, you could defend. You can, because defense has a lot to do with strength and positioning and footwork and understanding how to move your body in the right way. So all that pays dividends, man. Just do things in that order, and I promise you're going to see results. Like, think about Bam's game. Bam came into the league being a lob threat. Like, Bam was not a scorer when he came into the league, and now he has 83 points. Granted, it's a testament. I've heard this said before. I talked to my dad about this. It's a testament to the Miami Heat organization, Bam's work ethic, the development, just across the board. Like, he wasn't an 83-point player when he first came into the league. He was a lob threat and a defensive, help. And he's developed and worked on his game, and now he's knocking down threes, and I think he went like 30 for whatever from the free throw line that night, and he's hooping. So now they're sending doubles to him. Bam gets the inside. I'm still throwing that pass. That's a great pass by Drew. That's a great freaking pass by Drew. Yeah, it's a hell of a pass. So in order to make this pass tougher, number 8 has to play ball pressure. It's not just on number 0. Number 8 has to apply pressure to the ball. Drew's literally able to bring the ball to his hip and just fling it like that. He's not having to do one of these and throw it over the top. He's literally here, right by his side. All right, let me put it on a platter. The guy starts pressing him up at the end. And that was very smart of Drew. Like, look, Drew pulled Keontae out the corner and told him to, he pulled him out the short corner, out the bird box. I've talked about this before. If you watch some of the videos I did recently, this is called the bird box down here. Within the Heat organization, they call it the bird box because of Chris Anderson, Birdman. And he used to make a lot of buckets just starting from here and getting drop-offs and would dunk the basketball. Drew calls Keontae out the corner and, out the bird box to the corner. And by that, number 27 has to follow Keontae out, which leaves Bam more room. And Bam just has to push number 0 up the lane, and he's bigger and stronger than him. Drew just puts it on a platter. He catches, gets fouled, and he finishes. Bam is stronger than all these players in white. He's stronger than all these players in white. I think we're just playing foul game for the rest of the way. Bam's about to get 83, 79. This is crazy. What is it? 79? Yeah, this is crazy, dude. It's nuts. Good for Bam. I love to see the guys on the Heat celebrate him. That's dope. That's his mom. That's super cool. She's a very respectful woman. When I've seen her at the game, she's always quiet and to herself. She's very kind. I remember I was so tight when I wasn't at this game. I think I was getting off a call or something like that with clients. And I was going to I think move my schedule to be able to come to this game, and decided against it. But Bam got his 83. That is it. Yeah, that is really impressive. Good for Bam. So in this video, I did a breakdown of Bam's historic 83-point game and how you can start using some of these same strategies to get buckets on the court yourself. Now, with the players in my community, I do breakdowns very similar to this, but of their own film. And I help them understand what they're doing specifically that can be improved and be fine-tuned to get to a professional level. If that sounds like you as a player, or if you're the parent of one of those players, go ahead and book a call with me below. The link is in the description as well. Now, if you just want to stick around and watch videos, that's fine too. I want you to go ahead and click on this one right here where I explain how journaling helped me go from averaging about 5 points and 4 rebounds to 20 points and 9 rebounds in just 30 days as a professional. I'll see you there.